In today's lesson, we're going to be graphing using slope-intercept form. So 3 things today. We're going to graph a linear function in slope-intercept form, identify the y-intercept from an equation that's in y equals mx plus b, and identify the slope from an equation in y equals mx plus b. So first question, though, is what method have we used to graph equations earlier in the unit? Well, that's going to be using a table. So method number 1 was by creating a table. And when we did that, we wound up picking x values, -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. And we would plug them in to the equation to get our output value. Now for this one, I'm going to do it for you, and I'll do it quickly. If I were to take -2 here and plug it where x is, I wind up getting +3. If I do -1, I get 3.5. If I do 0, I get 4. 1, 4.5, and 2 would be 5. After we made our table, we plotted these points. So -2, 3 would be here, -1, 3.5, 0, 4, 1, 4.5, and 2, 5. We took our ruler, we drew our line, we put arrows. That method will always work. But we do have a new method, and this is going to be using slope-intercept form. And that is when you have the equation y equals mx plus b. In this equation, we have 2 things. We have the b value and we have the m. So the y-intercept is our b value. If I look at the equation y equals 1/2 x plus 4 from above, the b value is a +4. If I look for where the m is, that's going to be +1/2. Now we talked about slope last time in the movements. So the top number tells us to go up or down. If it's positive, it goes up. The 2 on the bottom, if it's positive, it goes right. Now we can do reverse directions. I'm going to do it in a different color. Instead of up, I could go down. Instead of right, I could go left. So we either follow the yellow movements or we follow the red movements, but we don't mix and match. So let's look at this. How would we graph it? Well, I go to the y-axis and I plot a point at 4. And then I use my slope to go more points. So I am here, I count up 1, and then to the right 1, 2, plot a point. Count up 1, to the right 1, 2, plot a point. I could also go in the reverse direction. So here I count down 1, to the left 2. Down 1 to the left, down 1 to the left 2. We still take our ruler, we draw our line in, arrows on the end. Okay, so let's look at a couple examples. So remember again, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. B represents the y-intercept. It's always the starting point on the y-axis. M represents the slope. It determines the line's movements. I'm going to show you exactly what you should write down so that you are organized and help yourself not make any errors while doing your slope. First thing I'm going to write down is the y-intercept, and that's going to be your b value. So in this case, this equation, it's going to be +3. And then our slope, which is our m, is going to be 3/5. Now, really important here for the slope is that you draw your arrows for the movements. The 3 on top tells us to go up. The 5 on the bottom tells us to go to the right. Or we can do the reverse, which is down and left. Now let's graph this. I'm going to start at 3 on the y-axis. I'm going to do the yellow arrows first. I'm going to count up 3 and then right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plot a point. Now I can't make any more points in that direction, so I'm going to go to my red arrows, go back to my starting point, go down 1, 2, 3, and left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plot a point. Make as many points as possible. Take your ruler, draw your line in. Okay. Second example. So my y-intercept, which is our b value, is going to be -4 because it says -4 here. Our slope, which is our m value, is going to be -7/5. Now take a look here. This slope in the equation, the negative symbol is in front of the whole fraction. Notice that I only put it with the top number. So when you have a negative slope, put it only with the top number and make the bottom number positive. Now let's talk about our arrows. The -7 says go down, but the +5 says to go to the right. If I do the reverse, it's going to be up and left. Now here's a great example of why we need the reverse arrows. I'm at -4, and the yellow arrows are telling me to go down 7. So if I count down 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I'm off the graph. That's okay. That's why I have the red arrows. So we don't use the yellow ones at all, and I only look at the red arrows. So I'm at my starting point. I have to count up 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left. And then I take my ruler and I connect these. Real important for the visual check. This right here is a negative slope, which tells me I should be going downhill. That's exactly what I'm doing here. So if for some reason it was going uphill, I would know that I have the wrong slope. Okay, these are two special examples. So when you have an equation with only one variable, you do the following two things. You make 2 points, making either x or y the number that was given to you, and then you plot your 2 points and connect them with the ruler. Here, I was giving that x equals 1. Okay, so point number 1 would be 1, comma. Point number 2 would be 1, comma. Now for the y value, I can pick anything I want. It just has to be a number on the graph. So let's pick 4 and -3. I'm going to plot 1, comma 4, and then 1, comma -3. I take my ruler, I draw a line in, I notice that it's vertical. Okay, example 4 and the last example. I have y equals -3. So again, my first point would be nothing, comma -3. Second point, nothing, comma -3. I get to pick my x value. Again, anything that's on the x-axis. So how about 5 and -1? So I'm going to go 5, -3, plot my point, and then -1, comma -3, plot my point. And then I draw a line straight through those 2 points and notice that it's horizontal.